Hey everybody, this is Sherpa Rage, and today I'm going to be doing a build breakdown for Volt. Now, Volt was actually the second Warframe I ever got. After starting with Excalibur, I ended up buying Volt after getting a little bit of Platinum. Since it was only 75 Platinum, I figured, hey, you know what the heck, like to mix it up. And I was getting pretty close to being done with Excalibur, so I figured, what the hell. Volt, I actually liked for a long time, played with him a lot, even pre-Damage 2.0. When people say he wasn't that good, um, I'd play him. I'd play him against like even Infested and stuff. Everyone's like, "You're not doing any damage towards Infested," but I know I was doing half damage. I was still doing damage, but I could still kill things. It didn't matter. At the end of the day, things died. I lived. So, moral of the story is, couldn't have sucked that bad. So yeah, it was more of a challenge. But hey, sometimes it's fun to challenge yourself, see if you can do what you can do working with kind of what you got and everything. So I really like Volt, especially now that he's got some buffs and everything. Shock, for instance, is a lot better. Overload now, or Overload, Overvolt, something like that. Oh, it's Overload. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah. Overload's a lot better now. It doesn't immobilize you for quite as long and everything. Speed and shield, electric shield, are both really good too. Like I said, guns don't really matter. Just started with the Magnus, Magnus actually. Sorry, Magnus there. So I got those that I'm working on now. For the actual build breakdown though for Volt, we have Rifle Amp for the Aura mod, so give him some extra damage there with the rifles. We do have, of course, all four abilities because I love to run the abilities, even if they may not make the best of sense. It's just a thing. Figured they made it to use it, might as well do it. So have all four abilities: shock and speed, overload. All those ones I use quite a bit. Electric shield I use occasionally. Depends. Really good for defensive situations and stuff, and kind of in a jam. But all around, I would consider all of his abilities fairly useful. Speed's great for getaway or just like speed running things, especially with the build that I have in particular. I use Volt or Loki. Usually Volt though for Oregon derelict missions actually. And because I usually run the hobbled key of my group, so with that speed decrease, then using speed on Volt can be really useful if you just kind of trying to keep up with the group. Usually I'm the one lagging behind, so the build I have actually is really good for hitting things from far away, just a massive range. You'll see I have stretch and overextend on here. It's very similar to the Banshee build in kind of that regard. So um, it does have flow on for the max power, or the 150% power max, sorry. Then power strength on foot with focus, streamline, power efficiency, vigor for some extra health and shields, kind of make them a little bit more viable. I wouldn't necessarily run Volt in a mid to higher level solo thing. I mean, you could probably run a mid just fine. At least I know I can. I know some of the less experienced players, maybe not so much. But yeah, I wouldn't. Uh, you could even do like just a redirection for shields or vitality for health if you really wanted to. Just do one of those. But yeah, I just threw Vigor on to get a little bit of health and shields, kind of get that going. So like I said, I do have stretch and overextend. So we got that going. That gives me 130. Yeah, 130 plus 130% power range. It does do minus power strength though, so focus doesn't quite make up for overextends negative power strength there. So you are going to have 20% less power strength than just standard. As you'll notice, my overextend is actually not max ranked either, but I could easily do it with the 6 mod points I have left. It's one of those builds, like I say, that is not going to be for everybody. But if you like it, and after you see me play it, if you think it's viable for you, that's great. Maybe you'll enjoy it. If not, this is just kind of to get it out there and show you a possible build and everything, kind of explain why I like it and everything. There are some options I've considered. One would be doing blind rage instead of focus, which would give you power efficiency minus. So you could leave streamline on and just keep flow on, and then have no reduction to cost but more power max. Or you could do blind rage and throw on fleeting expertise instead of streamline. The only thing is there's power duration, which if I'm not mistaken affects speed and perhaps electrical shield. Yeah, I think that the duration would affect the electric shield. I know it does affect speed though. Yeah, the overload won't be affected by that. I don't think shock will be. Yeah, shock's just purely damage. Really, I think affects this, and then this is just range. So the range is really for overload. Like I said, so stretch and overextend, and you'll see kind of as I play that that's going to be kind of a massive thing. The other abilities, I'll use them kind of in tandem, but they're not going to be as affected usually as bad. Shock a little bit with the focus and overextend, so it's going to take a little bit of a hit, but it's not necessarily a huge thing. So you do kind of rely a little bit more on the guns, which is why I have rifle lamp on. So Volt's a little bit different because they always say, oh, you know, Volt, he's the alternative to like gunplay, which is kind of funny because in the way that I have him modded, it's really like his abilities are meh, okay, which is really what most people tell you. He's like all right, he's a okay on the abilities, but then the gun work's really going to be kind of what can help you stay alive in times of need and crunch time, kind of. So I'll jump in here and show you guys some footage. All right, everybody. So here we are, jumping in on Zini, getting started on it. Of course, speed is always really great, especially when you spawn all the way down there for some reason. Overvolt villain. It's nice in a place like this too, where it just can arc off everything. See right there, it's got 16 of my 30 kills, so it jumps up quite a bit. I do like to, especially in a place like Zini, when I have more energy. So low on energy. Still getting used to the phage. That up here. Gotta get my 30 kills, man. Gotta happen. You get back here. Come on. Oh, I haven't even used those guns. Level up twice. Very nice. There we go. Some more. Let's get this mother ready. Serration, the mother witch. There we go. Boom. You can see, yeah, look at that range. It's just boom, all my 30 kills right there. So, yeah, very, very useful on that. I do like the cost. Like shield up and I can get the chance. I need to focus those beams a lot. Oh. Huh. Something new. That may be just a graphical glitch, or that could be actually something that's designed to do. I'm not quite sure. It's very interesting. I'll have to look into it a little bit more. I'll let them go get those guys and get the synergy over here. That is the one thing with this Volt build is, yeah, you don't have, since you're not running an energy siphon build, you kind of rely on the other players a little bit more, which it's kind of odd to say, but I feel like this build does rely on your teammates a little bit more, which is why I say I wouldn't personally run this one on solo high-level stuff. Not to say that he's incapable of doing it, but he's not one of the frames that I would just like, oh yeah, just straight up and like gung-ho go for it type deal. Got the yeah. I can't wait to do my crit build with these it's just going to be very, very fun. I did a crit build with a dual Lex, which I will do a build breakdown video for, because those are some of my favorite sidearms. So hope you guys enjoyed the build breakdown, and see you next time.